which is building between Taiwan versus China with a war clouds looming large. My colleague Gaurav Sawant right now in Taipei, Taiwan, takes you to the secretive manufacturing plant in the world, the center of technology, which makes Taiwan one of the biggest soft powers in the world. Now, this is semiconductor manufacturing unit of Micronics International at the Hsinchu Science Park, 80 kilometers from Taipei in Taiwan. Taiwan manufactures over 90% of the most advanced varieties of semiconductor chips in the world. More than 150,000 are employed at this plant, just 10 miles from Taiwan's strait where Chinese warships have their guns pointing towards the small island nation. While on the surface everything is calm, there is real and present fear at the dragon's aggression. A feeling of nervousness which is spooking electronic majors all across the world. This has led to several countries, including the US and India, to try and shift manufacturing of semiconductors locally to break China's stranglehold around Taiwan.
This is actually a very complicated issue. So you just talk about, for example, Japan. In the companies, a major proportion of the raw wafer coming from Japan. And not only that, we talk about chemical gas that's utilized in the manufacturing and many things else, and that's coming from the globe. Basically, semiconductor takes a global supply chain to ensure that runs smoothly. I think just the past 2 years, everybody faced a shortage of semiconductor supply. So to avoid that kind of surge or going under, we need to prepare very properly in advance. So honestly, for the semiconductor manufacturing, one wafer from raw wafer to the finished product typically takes months. So typically like 2 or 3 months. Even some product more complicated, even longer. And there are many steps, thousands of manufacturing steps. So if one step's material or supply goes wrong, it has to stop. Okay, and so that we do ensure that we have very good forecast and a very good you can say reservoir or preparation of the raw material that's needed for the manufacturing processes.
A semiconductor or a chip, perhaps the most potent weapon in Taiwan's armory, more potent than the F-16 Vipers and the Patriot. And on this show, we will tell you how sand and rock, SiO2, are converted into polysilicon rocks and then a silicon ingot, how bare silicon wafers are made out of this, and how this is then converted into this chip or IC that's used perhaps in most devices in your house, from a mobile phone to a television set to a refrigerator or the aircraft you fly in. By some accounts, majority of such products come from Taiwan. You can barely see this microchip, but this powers perhaps your mobile phone. Microchips or semiconductors like these also power missiles in different countries. So whether it's your television set or your refrigerator set or the car in your house, semiconductors by some accounts, 90% are manufactured here in Taiwan. If tensions with China increase, the global supply chain will be adversely impacted. And that's the reason Taiwan is reaching out to democracies across the world. Unless there is a check on China's authoritarianism and expansionism, then global economy may just be adversely impacted. It's time to act now, or it may just be too late. With cameraman Sachin Chandok in Taipei, Taiwan, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.